So here I am. Here I am in all my regalia. My bandana to keep my hair out of the babka. My babka apron that I had bought for me many years ago. This is what an apple babka looks like. At least my version of it. This is the finished product. And I will show you on a step-by-step video how to make this apple babka. And this is my apple babka table. Clean enough to eat off of. I sure hope so, because that's essentially what's going to happen. Sprinkle some of the flour liberally onto the table so the dough doesn't stick to the table. I use 1 teaspoon of sugar in probably, I don't know if this is a 16 ounce or 32 ounce glass. It's a pretty big glass. 4 ounces of water, tepid to the touch. Mixed in 5 teaspoons of Red Star yeast or Fleischmann's yeast. There's the yeast. Red Star active dry yeast. Three eggs. 8 ounces of milk heated.
Okay. It will be done.
No, will is not good enough. All right, here. So we take this egg, pour it in with the milk and the salt that's already in there, 1 teaspoon. So we have 8 ounces of tepid milk, 3 eggs, and some salt, 1 teaspoon. This is the Cara orange that I used to take the skin off, the zest, and put it into the mixture. Okay, I've now got 8 ounces of milk, to which were added 3 extra large eggs, scrambled up, raw, teaspoon of salt, and I took the orange peel, I grated it with the grater, and grated it right into the bowl. So that's my orange zest. After the yeast has risen, which will take about 5 minutes, you then take this risen yeast and you're going to pour it into the egg mixture. Now I've just poured the yeast into the mixture. I've now poured another 4 ounces of warm water to make sure we get all the yeast out of the glass. Pour that into the mixture to which we're going to have dough added, flour. Roughly 9 cups, we'll see how much is used, of Hungarian high altitude unbleached flour. I'm going to add the flour in about 1 to 2 cups at a time. At this point, I'm going to probably add 1 cup at a time. Although I probably added 3 or 4. Now we're going to put it on the KitchenAid mixer. So we got this started. It is now 7:10. We started at about 6:30. I've just added another 2-3 cups of flour. This is on a stir setting on the KitchenAid. And it's thickening up. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And shut it off and add more flour. I've just added another 2 or 3 cups of flour. Start the mixing process again. What? I have no idea what you said. Okay, now we're going to take a... What's not going to stop you? Oh. Okay, we're using the spatula to get the flour off the sides of the ball. Got as much as I got as much as I could off the sides of the ball. I've added the remaining flour. So now we have used up a total of 9 cups. I'll probably be pulling this out with the spatula. You can see how thick it's getting. And this is where my hands will get all yucky. So I've got to flour them up good and... Okay, we can see here that the flour, the dry flour, is coating the sides. And we're sort of getting a ball of B-A-L-L, of flour in the middle, or dough. Still a little bit wet for my taste. It is now 8:02, and the dough is being picked up in this second batch. So, time to add more flour, put it on a table, and get a second bowl going. So now I've released the dough hook from the KitchenAid mixer. This is more or less the consistency, which looks pretty good. And now the pouring goes. First we'll take that off. Put that onto there. We want to get as much of our dough as possible. And we're going to try. Now we pour it out. That's what's left. We're going to scrape it off and put it onto that.
I see.
So this is making an apple babka. My version. I've used probably, I'd say
8 cups of flour.
8 cups, maybe 7, but I think it's more. And I use I use 6 large eggs, which is probably way too much. And I'm not pounding it like I said in my directions, and this looks like it's going to come out nicely. I've taken about an hour and 15 minutes from the start of this process with the yeast till this point. And when all of this dryness from the dough goes out, I pick up all the flour and it doesn't stick anymore to the table. Then I need to let it rise for about 25 minutes. Then I need to roll it out and butter it. But right now, this is constant picking up flour from the table that I put on. Basically, you flour the table up so you don't stick to the table. Like you stuck all the flour that got stuck into this bowl. It took a while to get it out. We don't want to get this too dry, So if it seems kind of nice right now, I don't know how much more flour I want to work into it. Press, squeeze, roll it into itself, roll it in, fold it in, squeeze with your fingers. Actually hurts your wrist. Yeah, that'll be the last of the flour that I'm probably going to use. So that's 12, that's 1.5 cups. What did I say? How many cups did I use? 8?
You used 8 cups.
So this is probably about 7 cups of flour I will have used. Well,
No, you used 8 cups, Eddie.
no, that'll be the 8th, I think. Well, in any case, you just keep adding flour. If this is the 8th cup, that's a 2-cup thing. So I've only used about 1/2 cup of that. I would have used 6.5 cups, which seems kind of a small amount for the amount of fluid I used. So it was either 6.5 cups, or it was 8, or it was 9. It was 8.5 cups, maybe 9 at the most. Okay. Still kind of sticky. I thought it was getting less sticky. Don't want to lose any of this flour or dough. Make sure your hands are super clean, and your table is Babka looking clean. It's a Babka table, so you should be able to put your tongue on it and not have anything. All right, just shut it off. It stopped.
No, it's back.
No, shut it off. That's fine.
How?
Press the red button. So now I've got a bowl. I've got my mound of flour, and that is a 2-cup mixing Pyrex, and this is the size of the KitchenAid bowl, so you can see the relative size. Now I'm going to let this sit and rise for I don't know how many minutes, say 25, but I'm going to try to make a second babka. We'll see what happens. It is now 9:03. I've put the first flour that was on the table, lifted it from the bottom, turned it upside down. The very top, which is now on the bottom, was all dried and crusted over. And so I took the moist side, which had stuck to the table, and I bringing that face up. So you can see where it got stuck. The babka cloth, which is muslin, is floured. Now comes the rolling with the rolling pin. 9:19. And we do not have the first babka quite rolled out yet. After this will come the buttering, but we still have another 10-15 minutes of rolling. It's now 9:24, and that's as far as I'm going to stretch it. I could stretch it further to the sides, but I'm not going to. Okay, here what we're doing is
I will in a minute, Mom.
putting our arms all the way under this thing to lift it, because all that stretching caused it to stick. Carol, I don't need you to do this, thank you.
Okay, what do you do?
Actually, you can, as soon as I straighten this out, I think I've got it all lifted. I could use you to butter some things, namely this mess. Let's put that over there, put that open. There. I hate it when it gets so thin. But that's the way it's supposed to be, really, for like filo dough, which is even thinner than this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, time is 10. I don't know what time it is.
I need more butter.
Well, get more butter.
11:33 is the time.
11:33. I guess this is about as good as we can do about with lifting. And we're just buttering up the third babka. It is now 9:36, and I have basted the entire babka with butter, melted butter. That's the first babka. And now I start putting the ingredients on. I now have sprinkled the cinnamon on top of all the dough. It's now 2:11. It's almost 3 hours. Got 7 more golden delicious apples.
Still need me to record?
Yeah, you can watch me cut apples for want to. Try not to cut it into the center like I just did. You want to avoid that. You want a core that you're cutting around. Makes it a lot easier. Discard the core, make a cut. Second cut, 1, 2. You don't want them too small. 1, 2. These apples are kind of small, so I used, instead of 7 apples, we used 9. I'm glad I bought 9 for each babka. Okay, we are.
You got it right in.
Yes, okay. Okay, you can start doing one of those already. You don't have to wait for that to melt, Carol.
Stop recording this video.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Buddy. I think he'll eat a lot some days, and other days he doesn't do a lot of activity. He's not hungry to eat a lot.
Seam yablaki, 7 apples.
Rubbing them.
Okay, wash the apples, cut them into chunks,
You already did that.
and this is what it looks like. It is now 2:30. Next go on the golden raisins. Now I've taken 4 handfuls of shelled walnuts, and I'm going to crush them or pound on them in this towel with a rolling pin, and then spread them on the babka. I have sprinkled liberally with walnuts and sliced almonds, and I've put on. Okay, it is now 9:58. I have just got done putting the apples on, finishing them up. I put an extra apple on there, I think it was 8. And then after that went the yellow raisins, these golden yellow raisins. After that came the brown raisins, about half the amount. So it was 15 ounces worth of golden raisins, about half of that in terms of brown raisins. And that was just eyeballing it, trying to do about half. And the raisins are for the sweetness, the brown raisins especially. And then came the, I took 4 decent sized handfuls of walnuts and put them into a towel, which I stretched out and wrapped them up and pounded them with a hammer, not a hammer, a rolling pin. Then scattered it on the top of the babka, and then the other nuts were the sliced almonds. I sprinkled those over liberally. And now I'm done. Now I gotta, okay, this is partially rolled up. I rolled from that way by lifting and just rolling it off the towel. I'm gonna roll it to the very edge, fold in the seams on the ends, and then try to squirrel it around or swirl it around or spiral it around into a pizza pan.
Where?
What time is it?
I am recording video. I have no idea.
On the clock, on the stove.
It's running. It's 10:59 at night.
Okay, 10:59, and we're working on the second babka, and it's pretty much possibly a disaster. The test. Can we roll this on? This might work. An awfully small pan. I'm lifting from the bottom and try to roll the babka underneath, or the pan underneath. Excuse me, Carol. Pan is not big enough.
Not a disaster at all.
No, guess not. Woo! Butter the top, just a little bit more, showing the actual buttering. Buttering helps to seal the top, helps to make it taste better, I think. At times we've left flour on the top. At other times we've basted it with egg or egg whites. And you can do the egg whites later, or the egg, about 10 minutes before the cooking is done, the baking. We bake for, what did I say, 48 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
At 375.
Right.
And so about 10 minutes before, one can put a, pull the babka out and baste the top with egg whites. You do it any earlier than that, it'll tend to blacken it and get too dark. We just want to have this basted so that the butter dries and it keeps the moisture in. The dough doesn't dry up. And I think we're going to need, definitely want to get all the flour wet, because we have had too much flour on the outside.
So right there.
Oh yeah, now I've got a whole section here. Okay, we are almost done with this one. It's going to be hard to cut the first pieces. It's going to stick. Okay, can I give you that? Put that by the stove. Lift the babka into the pan. And here, we probably need more butter for the next babka.
We know we're
Did
gonna
I
need
get
more.
this? Here, let me do this part again. I don't know if I got this or not. Carol? Bring the pan, bring it closer to me. Don't, no, I don't want it on the table. It'll get stuck to the, okay, there you go, thank you. There's the uncooked babka. I'm gonna let that sit for about an hour and a half with a towel over it. Hopefully it'll rise a little more. And maybe we'll put some egg on top of it. And that's what it looks like. So here we are at 440. The babka is done. And that is one big babka, overflowing the pizza pan. Came out the smallest, even though I think I used the most flour. Wow.
You need help picking it up?
No, I don't think so. Crackling. Oh, shoot. You got me in it too?
Mm-hmm.
With my bandana. We don't wear hairnets in Muskogee. We wear blue bandanas. 3 babkas. 1, 2, 3, and me. Babka number 1. Buttered on top at the very end after it was taken out. Babka number 2 just came out. Egg on top. 8 minutes before it was supposed to come out. Babka number 3 ready to go into the oven. Time now. Whatever. And this is what the inside of the babka looks like.